Now, let me tell you a few words about our academy, the Russian Presidential Academy of National Economy and Public Administration. It's a huge university. So I'll just say briefly a couple of words about RANEPA. We have over 50 offices from Kaliningrad to Kamchatka. We have over 100,000 students. And of course, this is a bit of a problem, especially with the pandemic when we had to switch to online. So the first point I would like to make is that the most successful element was not switching to online. We just moved to virtual classrooms. The whole process migrated to virtual classrooms. We preserved our schedule. The schedule of classes was still the same as it was before, and for professors, of course, as well. For students and for professors, you just didn't have to go to the university. You would just use a link on your computer and get connected via video conference. You can teach your class online. Many professors and many of our students really enjoyed this new format. We did a few polls, and not just within our university. We also polled professors from other schools, and we published the results of our polls. Later on, if you are interested in particular, I can give you a link to this study, but it is only available in Russian. Anyway, switching to remote, it's still face-to-face learning. It's face-to-face. This is what we do. We do have some online courses. We have some open platforms, but they don't work as effectively as teaching face-to-face. Online, but face-to-face. We did use online courses, but only as auxiliary material, something in addition to face-to-face learning. We would still have lectures. We would record them. You could view them later, but actually more than 50% of our students would use these recordings because you may miss something. So you would like to revisit this particular part of the lecture. Like I said, we have over 100,000 students. And in 2020, we had over 114,000 students taking our courses. Our academy specializes in government service. We train government officials. Of course, this 100,000 students, they're not all of them are future government officials. We also offer courses for future economists, journalists, etc., etc. But these are online courses specifically for training and retraining of government officials. This is the portal that we used in 2020. So the numbers you see here are much smaller than the total number of students we have at our academy. So for students, for our graduate students, for retraining, we use the system of our system of professional development. It involves individual trajectories of development, constant, lifelong self-development and self-study, and a wide range of professional development activities, and a program aimed at the advanced development of new competencies, new skills. Again, like I said, we did this for all the students, but our particular emphasis was on government service. This is particularly important to this kind of people. What else? The burden of increased dramatically for professors. In the past, professors were available to students during breaks, during classes, during one-on-one consultations. But today, professors have to be available 24/7, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And students take advantage of this. You can ask questions remotely, use the chat box, Zoom, or Microsoft Teams, anything, whatever. You have a lot of tools available. Actually, that's a bit of a problem. We have our own platform at our school. This is the primary platform we use, but some professors, in addition to that, have their own personal preferences, apps that they're accustomed to. Like previous speakers mentioned, we have this technology gap. We have some remote places where they don't have broadband internet, so they use other means of communication. They use other simpler apps. So this is a bit of a problem. You have to have 7 different apps in your device and keep track of all of them. Get all the info coming through all these different apps, all the different uh, channels. Of course, this makes the burden heavier. So professors, they are in contact with students 24/7. Of course, if that's a responsible professor.
Walking away from face-to-face education completely is not possible. I have a little daughter. When she was 5, she had ballet classes online. It looked very interesting. The coach did her best to try to explain to the little children what they had to do. So it's impossible to do away with the old ways of education, but we have to use the new capabilities provided by the digital technologies, by the new ways of collaboration through online platforms. We have organized several lines of work. One is online learning. We do webinars, we do lectures and workshops, we organize panel sessions and interviews. We would have teachers, professors that would meet with students and do this. We had strategic sessions. This was group work with a moderator. Again, we used various online platforms to talk about various topics of interest. We have covered a lot of subjects with the number of participants varying between 10 and 400 students. Next line, that is peer-to-peer sessions. Exchange of best practices between teams from different parts of the country. They launched their projects. They discussed the content of those projects online. Teamwork, that is the next line that we launched. That's work of the regional team with a moderator to develop a new project. That's what we used. And that allowed us to keep the training and retraining programs up and living. We must say that MBA programs, students did not like to switch online. They were really lacking personal interaction with professors. So they stayed in face-to-face mode. They just rejected this transition. Of course, during the time of online training, students were lacking the personal touch. We are collecting a lot of information and we get confirmation of the fact that people are really missing personal communication. People want to stay in touch personally. They are still hoping to get back to the face-to-face form. They have not abandoned this idea. We must say that we have saved a lot of time doing online meetings. The way we have this conference is another confirmation of that. Of course, face-to-face communication is essential as well. This brings me to the end of my presentation. We are going to use a mixed format. We will use all the advantages, all the benefits that we can have from online communication, and we will continue to develop our traditional skills. Thank you.